This is the Unspoken Podcast on the Undetermined Podcast Network.
You are listening to the Unspoken Podcast, the Cheap Seat Sports Production part of the Undetermined Podcast Network. It is episode number 27. I'm Tom Albano, and as always, I have Nick Fodera, and once again, special guest Nick Morgasen, president of the Undetermined. And we are actually live on not just YouTube this week, we are also live on the Undetermined Periscope and the Unspoken Podcast Periscope.
There's no medium we won't broadcast from. We could be broadcasting from inside your toilet right now.
We already got a question.
Oh, really? Oh, my God. The intro hasn't even stopped, and we already have a question.
Are the Knicks trying to keep Carmelo in New York, or are they just trying to make Carmelo suffer?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a perfect transition into our top story. And purpose. The Unspoken Podcast now takes a trip to the circus that is the New York Knicks.
Oh, wait, no. It's the Knicks, so they'd be booing. Boo!
Oh, my God. That's
not
nuts.
the circus you want to be a part of.
Yeah, that's not a circus I want to be in.
Well,
Diarrhea and gonorrhea are definitely certain.
but, guys, the Knicks have been a clown show.
They have.
Yeah,
They have. They're not wrong.
So, I told you guys there was a ton of breaking news to go into the Knicks. And as I told you, this is nuts. And you ready for some news breaking with the New York Knicks?
Yeah, hit us.
All right, so we all know the situation with the Knicks and their GM situation and how they were talking to David Griffin originally. Those talks broke off because apparently James Dolan was not willing to give full power to David Griffin. Go figure, and that's when you play the Price is Right losing horn.
Yes, we also have a soundboard with us from now on these shows. We have talked about it for weeks, and right, Nick F. We have been talking about it for weeks, and now it has finally come to fruition. So with that, here's the first official sound coming from our new soundboard, and how appropriate is it? Because the Knicks wouldn't give David Griffin the power, despite him being able to get Carmelo Anthony and change the Cavaliers around into, well, a team that has pretty much gone to the finals within the last 4 times within the last 4 years.
Right.
And, didn't he also originally draft Carmelo?
David Griffin?
Yeah.
No.
When did he come to the Cavs?
No.
I think just as LeBron came back.
So in other words, he was tasked with bringing LeBron back.
Yeah.
Well, actually, wait a second. It was actually Dan Gilbert who really brought him back. But
okay, that's fair enough.
But let's go back. We're digressing. Let's talk about.
We are digressing, but I must do this to myself. Yeah. I am wrong.
Oh my God, he is going to get addicted to that. Someone stop that man.
I know. But we all know, and it's official as we're talking to both our Periscope audiences here. Excuse me. Scott Perry, who was the assistant general manager or vice president of the Kings, has agreed to a 5-year contract to become the Knicks general manager. And this is according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN. Thoughts?
It's kind of Isaiah Thomas.
Well, you know that old adage that a broken clock is right twice a day, and the blind squirrel finding the nut.
Yeah,
that is applicable here. It really is. They made a good step, but that does not mean that they are diverted, I should say, from the path to Fuckville.
In other words, it's a baby step forward and not a giant leap into a new territory.
Yes, you're taking the sideways path to hell, not straight down.
But there's one more. There's one more interesting wrinkle, though, that goes into this deal. So the Kings and the Knicks had to reach an agreement because of not just for players. Apparently, if you want a GM or someone from another team to go to another team, you have to pay compensation.
Yeah, that happened when John Gibbons joined the Blue Jays.
So that is true.
That is true. But so here's what the compensation was. So the Kings, now get your sounders ready, Tom, because I'm about to go off on a very hot take. So the Kings got a 2019 second-round pick and cash considerations for Scott Perry to have the right to sign a 5-year deal to be the GM of the Knicks.
So in other words, they're giving up quite a bit. I wouldn't say quite a bit, but they're giving up future, in other words, just to have a general manager. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, basically. They had the right to sign him to a 5-year deal just because they paid compensation to the Kings.
So you say you have Nick, did you say hot take?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Do you hear the sound that I'm playing right now, or it might be too weak?
I didn't hear it.
Okay, because right now I have a fireplace going.
Oh, I hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Warm up those fires.
It's burning. I can
rev up those fires because we're ready for a hot take.
Rev up those fires.
Where's the SpongeBob episode when you need it?
Yeah,
wait, I got that too. I've got that somewhere too.
No, not right now. But basically, the way that this has been constructed, and there's more news on the Melo situation, which I'll get to in a minute. Excuse me, but they had to go through a whole fuckery of compensation just to bring this guy in when they could have had David Griffin just for a contract and no trade compensation.
I know, but it's the Knicks, and here.
Rev up those fryers, because I am sure hungry for what? Help! Rev up those fryers.
Wait, what?
I am sure hungry for what? Help!
What is going on over there?
The soundboard's taking over. Oh, God.
Why did it play in a loop?
I don't know.
I didn't even set it.
You're just like, wait a minute. You're just like Phil Jackson, who decided to do whatever he wanted, and then it failed miserably and still didn't take credit for it.
Yeah, except for
I would take credit for it. Wait, Nick, what was that? I couldn't hear you, Nick F.
I said, except without the millions of dollars in compensation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wrong.
But that's a can of worms for another day.
Right. I didn't even set it to a loop, so I just minimized the program. I'm like, okay, that's it. And I'm like, wait, it's playing by itself.
Robots are taking over the world.
Technology is going to take over all of us, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, let's get back on topic.
But basically what's happening is they signed the deal. He's now the GM of the Knicks because we all thought Steve Mills was. What's confusing is that according to the report, they said that they filled a vacant GM spot, which originally was held by Steve Mills. So everyone is confused on what happened. So is Steve Mills now the president of operations or what? We don't know. That's the big question.
Yeah, well, I'm very confused. I am so confused right now.
If I don't get... one of us is going to get sick of that soundboard before this episode is done, folks.
You are the one who asked for it, and now I'm going to make you sick of it. So,
you know what? It's my fault then. I regret everything.
You regret starting this show with me, don't you, Nick?
Hey,
actually,
let's not go that far.
Actually, you can blame me because I put you two together.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
All your fault, Morgasen. Anyways, so I don't understand this. So is he the GM or is he the president of operations? What is it?
According to the report, Scott Perry is the general manager. That is what Woj is reporting from ESPN. So I guess right now it's GM and assistant GM because there's no fucking president running the Knicks right now.
It's analogous to a chicken with its head, chicken running around with his head cut off.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much. So wait, so do you think maybe James Dolan just could be like, I'm going to be the president of basketball operations as well?
Basically, yeah.
He basically is anyway. It seems like even when they don't want him, he just cannot seem to keep his grubby little hands off this team.
Are you surprised?
No. Nobody's surprised. Nobody is surprised anymore about this because let's face it, this is Knicks territory. Knicks land is shit land.
It is. Everything's on fire. There's burning hot coals and burning hot cola. There's no way out of it.
Well, I'll throw one more wrinkle into this matter. So I told you there was news on the Carmelo Anthony situation. So we all know that the Knicks and the Rockets are working on a deal that apparently yesterday was on the 2-yard line, according to NFL terminology.
So
right. I
fully expected this morning to wake up and the deal be completed.
Well, so here's the situation. So according to the New York Daily News, and when we say New York Daily News, we mean the asshole and Frank Isola, Carmelo Anthony is, quote, frustrated with the Knicks as they put the potential trade to the Rockets on hold because in their minds, they want to hold on to Melo for this season.
So after all these months of trying to trade him and saying he'd be better off, somewhere else, suddenly we want to hold on to him.
That's the report.
Which made me think that Phil saying that was Phil going off script.
Who knows? I mean, the way that the situation is, but that's the report right now from the Daily News that Melo's frustrated. The Knicks put the trade basically on hold because they want to hold on to him now because they didn't like the trade offers they got.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that they were going to get from the Rockets. What was his name again?
I'm not sure. There was no parameters discussed officially.
I was gonna say I don't think I even heard a name. It was just he's close to going to the Rockets.
There was one name I think that the Rockets were bandying about, but the Knicks said no to.
Well, one name I did hear was Ryan Anderson, but no one.
That's Ryan Anderson. That's the one.
But the contract is too big. That's why they need 4 teams to come to this deal, because apparently what's going on is that the salary is the issue at this point in time. So what's happening is Ryan Anderson has to be part of the deal, and neither team wants him.
Yeah, and if I'm going to venture a guess, I would probably say that now that Perry has the job, he's
right.
probably going to. He probably said, "Okay, I can't do this trade right now until I get myself situated," or I'm not even sure if I want to do this trade.
Well,
I'm sure they probably asked him his opinion during the interview process. That had to have come up.
Well, I heard a few possible teams that could be involved with the Melo trade, and you're going to laugh, but the Nets are one of the teams that are going to be possibly involved in this 4-team trade.
Oh, God. So you're talking one shitty team trading with another shitty team. Both in New York, by the way.
Wait a minute. They're not getting Melo. They're kind of what I like to call the cleanup team.
Right, I never said they were going to get. I never said the Nets were going to get Melo. I was going to say, oh God, but why do they have to be involved in this now? It's like you're bringing one shitstorm in with another shitstorm, so you got 2 shitstorms heading in a trade.
Basically,
it's a Class 5 shitstorm right there.
Well,
it is a Class 5 shitstorm. You're right, Nick.
No, but I heard the Nets, and then I heard the Pelicans was another team I heard that was involved also. So we'll have to see where that goes. But the way that this Knicks situation is playing out, we saw them just sign
Ron Baker.
No, Hardaway.
Oh yeah. We talked
Hardaway
about that.
Jr.
Which,
4
by the way, hot take: 4 years, $71 million. Jackson cut him, and now he's back.
Yeah. Yep.
Who the fuck is wrong with these Knicks?
I don't know. No, you want to know what's wrong? You want to know what's wrong? That's exactly it. They suck.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Stewie.
Really appropriate.
It is appropriate. They suck. I really don't understand this. So you get rid of this guy, and now he's coming back, and now suddenly it's like he's pretty much the same guy, maybe a little bit better, so maybe a smudge more money, but suddenly you're going to jack his price up to $71 million.
Let's put it this way. You should take the 7 away from the front, and that should be the amount of money he's making over 5 years.
I mean, this is classic New York Knicks. I mean, I would say classic New York sports, but considering the Knicks are in a whole class of themselves, that they shouldn't be associated, in all honesty, with the Yankees or with the Giants or with the freaking Mets. Like, it's classic New York overspending, but overspending on sucky players.
No, you know what? This is not just classic New York. It's classic Jim Dolan.
Classic Jimmy Dolan on overspending on sucky players. That's it.
You know what people were saying? People were making jokes on Twitter yesterday about what the compensation should be for Scott Perry, and I can't remember the tweet offhand, so I'm kind of just improvising what it was. And someone said, all right, Jim Dolan, why don't you just give the Kings a free concert, and that'll be the compensation for Scott Perry.
Yeah. You know what his band is called, actually?
No.
I've seen them.
Wait, Nick F. You've seen James Dolan's band?
I've seen JD in the Straight Shot, yes.
Oh my God.
I was...
Are you freaking kidding me?
Context is necessary. In
please.
2011, my brother got tickets to see the band, the Eagles.
Oh, you told me this story.
Yeah. Wait. Was JD in the Straight Shots the opener of that?
Yes, he was the warm-up band, and he was coming out there, a pudgy guy in a suit and a fedora. And I'm JD. It's like, we know you're Jim Dolan, fuckhead. That's what my father. By the way, Periscope, my father actually screamed that at him in the concert.
That is amazing.
It is just as soul-flatteningly generic and depressing as you imagine it is.
But let's put it this way. The way the Knicks situation is going to play out, they should trade Melo. They're basically going to be a lottery team. They should basically just dump it this entire season. They'll get whoever's in the top 5 picks because somehow they'll fuck it up and try to trade the pick away for Jerome James again. And
maybe I was gonna say even if they tried to get top 5 or whatever, they'll probably lose another tiebreaker, lose another coin flip.
You could be the Nets and trade away the pick, and you could have had the first overall pick, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Losing it by chance is a little less, it's a little less disheartening than, just dumb fuck trade moves. Like trading away a haul of draft picks for Andrea fucking Bargnani.
That was bad.
But Bargnani is the height of dumb fuckery.
Yeah, I mean, that is bad. That is bad. So anyway, any last words you want to say about this New York Knicks? Because I'm just done. Other than you suck. That would be the other. That would be the last.
The way I would finish this out is the Knicks are not going after any other people in free agency. So basically, the way I see this team is Melo needs to be traded. The Knicks fan base is going to go up in arms. They're going to bring out their pitchforks and fire and go after James Dolan. And basically, everyone's still going to come to Madison Square Garden because it's the Garden, even if the team sucks like shit.
Well, they'll all come to see another team. Like, remember, it was like, I think 2010 when Kobe and the Lakers were visiting the Garden, and Kobe dropped like 50, 60 points, and he got MVP chants from the whole crowd.
You know what? They'll come see the Golden State Warriors.
Right. They'll come see them. They'll come see LeBron. They'll come see everybody. Right. They'll come see everybody but the Knicks.
I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. Basically, the team is going to make a shit ton of money even when they don't have Melo, and everyone's going to hate themselves.
It's you don't deserve to make a shit ton of money because you need to learn your lesson. It's like the toddler who breaks a vase and then gets an ice cream bar out of it.
Right, pretty much. You're listening to the Unspoken Podcast, the Cheap Seat Sports Production Party Undetermined Podcast Network. For those of you who are, especially, but even to our YouTube audience, just so you guys know, I actually have my TV turned on right now to Fox Sports 2. When Mayweather and McGregor take the stage, we'll be playing some audio, and we'll be hearing live what they're saying. But other than that, so we'll prepare for that. But in the meantime, because they still have not taken the stage yet, let's just talk some MLB. Let's talk some MLB. We just had the home run derby and the All-Star break. Second half of the season coming up, and actually we got a question on Periscope about who, our predictions for tonight for the first games of the season.
Which game are we talking about?
Any game at all for tonight.
Well, you have Yankees-Red Sox tonight, right?
Yeah, we have Yankees-Red Sox tonight, yes. Let me get actually a list up of tonight's games.
While you're doing that, just talking to a little bit of our Periscope audience here, as Tom just said, any questions you have on Major League Baseball or UFC? Someone actually posed a question on McGregor Mayweather, but I'll wait for that for later.
Okay.
I
actually have our list of games for today. We have the Cubs and the Orioles. We've got the Cardinals Pirates. We've got the Nats and the Reds. We got the Rockies Mets, Yankees Red Sox, Dodgers Marlins, Blue Jays Tigers, Diamondbacks Braves, Twins Astros, Mariners White Sox, Phillies Brewers, Rangers Royals, Rays Angels, Indians A's, and Giants Padres. First pitch for most of these games are going to come around 7 o'clock tonight. There are no afternoon games. So second half of the season starts at 7 o'clock. Any big predictions about this weekend series?
Well, the Yankees-Red Sox is really the only game of all those baseball games I could give two shits about. Excuse me. So
I would say Giants-Padres if both teams were actually doing better.
The Giants are 27 games out.
I said if both teams were doing better.
Yeah, better is relative. You're not on fire, but you're still falling off a cliff.
Right. No, I'm saying if both teams were better, I would give two shits about this game, but I don't.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. So I'm hearing all these trade rumors. The Giants are one. The Rangers are another. What do you guys want to hear about in the trade rumors? Because I have some interesting information on that too.
I mean, the Yankees, I think, now are in a bit of trouble. I mean, Michael Pineda is now potential torn UCL. He's done for the year. So
that's surgery.
Second opinion first, and then they're going to make the determination as to whether he will get surgery.
He's done. He's done for the season.
Yeah, regardless, he's done. He's not going to be able to come back.
Greg Bird, actually, they announced today that he's
got this weird disorder.
He's got this weird problem with a bone in the back of his left ankle, and possible that he might need surgery to correct it.
Well, so let's put it this way. Greg Bird is becoming the Mark Pryor of Major League Baseball.
He's becoming the Nick Johnson, this era of Yankees. This is Nick Johnson.
He's becoming what was his name? Xavier Nady.
But at least we got Swisher out of it, and that was really a diamond in the rough.
Pretty much. Okay, that's fair enough. Regardless, we might as well just wrap up Greg Bird and bubble wrap before sending him on the field.
I know, seriously. But here's the interesting situation. The Yankees made a trade yesterday. I know they traded Tyler Webb. I don't know who they
to the Brewers for Garrett Cooper.
Tyler Webb to the Brewers for Garrett Cooper. And honestly, I think it's a good deal because here's the thing. Sure, you're giving up Tyler Webb. What would you say, Nick?
Yeah, no, you're right. It is.
Okay, no, because here's the thing. You're giving up Tyler Webb, yes, but you know what? I think that was inevitable. You have to give up prospects when you're a team filled with prospects. And you need you need a lot of help because let's face it, the Yankees at first base this year, it's not been a good time.
Well, let's put it this way. They had a DFA Chris Carter twice.
Right. I mean, when you DFA him once, and it's like, oh, thank God he's gone, and then you brought him back a second time, and it's like
only because Tyler Austin went down.
Well, it's not that he wasn't a bust. He had an injury, and then you also had what's his name from the minor league system who had an unbelievable first couple of weeks, and then he got injured. What?
Tyler Austin. Well, wasn't Tyler Austin the reason we got Chris Carter? Because before the season started, Tyler Austin.
No. I'm talking about the guy who ran into the wall in Chicago.
No, that's Dustin Fowler, the outfielder.
Dustin Fowler. I mean, but Dustin Fowler. But he was an outfielder. He wasn't a first baseman.
No, but they had to bring Chris Carter back because they had to move positionings around.
I guess, but then, Right, but then I was like, why? And then they finally brought up Clint Frazier, and it's like, I think Clint Frazier finally,
Yeah. With Hicks on the DL, I think you're going to see him get playing time as the fourth outfielder.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's for the most part, that's right, Nick, but
yeah.
I don't know with this whole situation with the Yankees. Everyone said that they were not really competing anyway. I mean, I think they're 3 games or 4 games over 500. I think they're 45 and 41. But
right, but they're still in contention. That's the thing. Despite this whole losing streak, they're still in contention.
They're leading the wild card.
They're 3 games behind the Red Sox in the East, and this is a 4-game set. If we have a good series, if the Yankees have a good series, they're right back in it.
Yeah, but and I think they're leading the wild card, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is their pitching is just falling down in dominoes.
Decimated. And with Pineda going down, I think the time has come to bring up Chance Adams.
Well, that's already being done.
Agree.
That's
I
already
agree.
being done.
Oh, it's confirmed? Yes.
It's being done. They haven't officially confirmed it, but it is being done.
It is being done, but it is being done. They're in the process right now. So you hear it first on the Unspoken Podcast. Chance Adams will become a New York Yankee very soon. Very, very soon. I can't wait. I can't wait
to see him. And this is the benefit of having as deep as a farm system that they do.
Absolutely. The only other issue I have, because I get it, we need field stuff too, but my God, the bullpen. Bullpen is horrible.
Can I wait a minute before you guys crap on the bullpen? So I have to say that the situation has not been so great in that bullpen, but at the same time, there's been a lot of these guys have had to pitch a ton, so they're not as crisp as they could be because of all the closer games they've had to play.
Well, I don't.
Right, but also,
but we're not.
Well, here's another thing. I think the blame also. Just so you guys know, I'm not sure if I feel this way, but I have a lot of friends who are calling for Girardi's head, saying he has mismanaged the bullpen to shit because you've got Betances and Chapman who, are fucking tired because they are pitching, God knows how many games. And
that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. No, because that is the other thing. And then, of course, you have Tyler Clippard. Oh, God.
Well, wait a minute. Clippard. Hold up. So Tyler Clippard has been a decent pitcher over the years. He was a closer and had 30 saves with the Nationals.
He ain't that guy anymore.
2005.
But he isn't that guy anymore, number one. And number two, as I was going to say before you interrupted me, he's in the same category as Betances and Chapman. Just horrible. And actually, I will agree with my friends. I think Girardi does deserve a little blame. Horrible mismanagement of the bullpen.
I would say blame, but not fire blame. That is
okay.
Absolutely the wrong thing to do.
Because I have a couple of friends who are saying don't fire blame, and then I have a couple of friends who are saying fire blame.
Those are just why? And replace it with who?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about the term fire blame. I would say more it depends on how the Yankees finish the year.
Well, wait a second. Are you calling for Girardi's head or no?
I am gonna use a conditional. I think if they fuck up and they lose, maybe not so much, maybe 1 or 2 games under 500, I wouldn't say, but a significantly under 500, then I would call for his head.
But here's the situation. I don't think it's all his fault. I think
It's not his fault.
the injuries have been massive. Ellsbury was out with a concussion. Aaron Hicks is not playing right now. Aaron Hicks for the first half of the season was hitting over 300.
He was a fucking all-star.
He was an all-star, and he was on pace for the batting title, along with Starlin Castro.
Okay, I'll take it back. I will take it back.
But you know what? What this shows me is this team has become what we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season.
Well, I don't. Wait a minute. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that 100%. Wait a minute. I think that, like you said, Nick, I think we overachieved, but at the same time, the injuries caused the team they had to use a bunch of Band-Aids, so it caused them not to play well because these guys are not experienced.
I guess, but you know what? As I was saying, excuse me, let me get some words in here. As I was saying, even like last week or 2 weeks ago, this feels like a tease. This feels like the end of last season again. It's like, oh, maybe we can make the playoffs. Maybe we can have a good run, and then it's all gonna go for naught. And that sucks. That's a horrible way to to lose out on everything.
To waste good seasons.
But they waste excitement. But they weren't on pace. They weren't supposed to make the playoffs. That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, and I've always been of the opinion that they weren't going to start competing again until all of their main pieces, Judge, Frazier, Bird, maybe even Gleyber Torres, were up here and producing on a consistent basis.
Right, but here's the thing.
And Sanchez as well. And that's true for Sanchez and for Judge, and but not necessarily for Frazier because he hasn't really been that long.
Right, but here's the thing. I also was in the thing. I said this might be a tease of a season. I said at the beginning of the season, but it's like, as a fan, when you're rooting for a team as a fan, it's like, you want to be proven wrong.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but at the same time, this team was supposed to be 500 at best, and now you have a team where I think you had 6 All-Stars from the Yankees this year.
You had
5. It was 5. It would have been a 6, but he lost the vote.
All right, so if it wasn't for Didi losing the vote, so it's 5.
Right.
So this team is overachieving in every sense of the matter.
They are, and you know what? I'm willing to give them time to straighten things out because I know. I mean, we didn't even get to Quintana going from the White Sox to the Cubs. And
well, we'll get there. And
we'll get there. But the asking price, I think, for starters, for Ace, is somebody who can patch this up, not just patch it up, but improve drastically, is way too high. And I don't think I would, if I were GM, I don't think I'd be willing to pay what they're asking.
Here's the thing. That is fair. I mean, you are right. For those of you who forget or didn't know, the Yankees and White Sox were in trade talks. They were in talks to get Jose Quintana and David Robertson, but the White Sox were asking for essentially a king's ransom. They wanted guys like Judge, essentially.
It wasn't going to happen, and I'll tell you why it wasn't going to happen.
Here's why it's going to.
Wait a minute.
Okay, you go.
Okay, so what I was going to say is that Brian Cashman has learned from over the years not to trade away the farm system because it's killed them in the past, and then they get these veteran guys who are under contract for 4 or 5 years and they have to pay them a ton of money, which they finally got out of. Which CeCe's going to be off the salary cap, and A-Rod's finally going to be off, and Teixeira's going to be off. They're going to have $100+ million to spend this coming offseason. And why do you think they positioned the team with young guys? So they can go out and spend in free agency again.
Right. We've said that's going to be the plan. But listen to me. Do you blame the White Sox? Because I don't. Law of baseball economics. You've got these guys who are very talented on young contracts, and White Sox are a rebuilding team. So, you're paying less money to get talent, which is better than you have. To me, that's just pure baseball economics.
Well, I think Chicago way overpaid. The Cubs way overpaid.
I mean, yeah. I think maybe it could have been just 3 prospects, maybe 2. I don't know why.
There was 4 total players, but I'll tell you what evens it out. So I guess the prospects are justified because Quintana is under club control until 2020.
See, now that presents a bit of a fair deal.
But at the same time, the guy is 4-9 with like a 5+ ERA. So the guy's not pitching well.
Most of it was due to run support. Not
the White Sox. Let's face it, the White Sox are a shitty offense team. I mean, they couldn't fucking save Chris Sale. All that shit. Chris Sale got fed up with them and left.
Well, we all knew Chris Sale was going to be the next free agent on the market. That's why he left.
Yeah, right, but still, Chris Sale was still pissed. I think if he was still under a contract, he would have been begging for a trade out of there anyways.
Well, if you remember the incident where he cut up the jersey, that was pretty much
right.
That's pretty
much the end of Chris Sale.
Right, but that's still my point. Still, it didn't matter if he was still under a long contract or had a shorter contract or whatever. It would have mattered because Chris Sale was fed up.
Right.
But do you think that the injury to Pineda is going to light a fire under Cashman's ass? Well, in a manner of speaking.
Trade?
To try and maybe, say, for instance, engaging the Pirates in talks for Garrett Cole.
They're not going to do it. I'll tell you why they're not.
Well, the Pirates already stated they're not going to give up Garrett Cole.
That's not the only thing. Like you said, Tom.
Even though
Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you remember Nick F. That was one of my suggestions for like the past month. But then the Pirates came out and said they're not gonna give up Garrett Cole. They want to try to rebuild their team around him. But let's face it, I don't know anybody who's going to want to take McCutchen when McCutchen hasn't been McCutchen.
Well, what going back to the Garrett Cole thing. First of all, even if say he was available, the Pirates are asking way too much for this guy. I heard that they want 4 top-level prospects back in return for Garrett Cole. No one's paying 4 top-level prospects for that guy.
Right, but I mean, they are trying to rebuild, so it doesn't hurt. Here's the thing, what I always say about trades. What's the worst somebody could say? No.
Yeah, but you really think would you trade 4 top prospects for an ace pitcher?
What's now? Here's the question: what's my team like?
That's not the point. We're talking about the trade.
It's the
because I think
it's dependent on the team and the situation. Because if you
exactly.
If your lineup is if your 1 through 9 is flush with prime talent, I think, and you're missing that one piece, I think it would be tolerable, but it would depend.
Let's take the Yankees then. Let's take the Yankees. Would you trade 4 top-level prospects for Garrett Cole?
No.
That's tough. I don't know about 4.
Fine. All right. Would you trade 2 top-level prospects for Garrett Cole?
Probably one of the outfielders.
Wait, what'd you say, Nick?
Probably one of the outfielders, because they do have a lot of blue chip talent in the outfield, but only 3 spots to put them in. And Ellsbury is going to be pretty much an albatross. Judge isn't going anywhere.
As I've said, it's tough to give up these young prospects, but when the trade deadline comes, the price has got to be right. But the thing is, that old song, you can't always get what you want. You can't keep your prospects and then, ask for superstars. It doesn't work that way. I think something like that happened with the Mets last year in the trade deadline. You can't always get what you want.
There's one big issue I have, and I don't understand why people believe this. So people want to hold on to their prospects because they think they're going to be the next big star. But what people don't realize is that most prospects don't turn out. So why wouldn't you trade the prospects, let them be the headache of another team, and you get the player you want?
That's what you have to judge.
Ah, no pun intended.
There is no way on God's green earth that I would ever trade Aaron Judge.
No, absolutely not. Aaron Judge, I think, has solidified himself as, I mean, he's got the right Yankee attitude. He's got the right, Yankee playing style. He, I think, hopefully, I pray to God, is a Yankee for life.
I think he will be.
I think he will be too.
I hope so. And, not to go into the home run derby. I mean, what we really saw his kind of coming out party to the rest of baseball.
Pretty much.
I've never, ever seen that kind of power on display.
Oh, my God. It was one of the most amazing things in the entire world. As I told you guys before, I was periscoping the whole home run derby, and people were sending me hundreds of messages telling me this guy's amazing, this guy's going to be the next home run king. And I'm like, all right, I know you're excited that he has power, but this guy's going to be amazing. The guy hit 3 or 4 home runs over 505 feet.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of power this guy has. But here's the thing about power. It's not building up power. It's like some analysts have said, it's natural power. The guy's 6'7". The guy's muscular. The guy's a beast.
He is Hulk strong, basically, and
yeah. Remember, he turned down football scholarships.
You know what's even wackier? That he was actually hitting opposite field home runs for legit power in the Derby. Also,
he basically wasn't even trying, and he hit opposite field home runs.
It wasn't even a pull situation. He hit balls to all fields, and the funny thing is, a lot of off his bat, a lot of those balls looked like he didn't get all of them, and they still went over the fucking fence.
Which is crazy. I mean, the guy has got natural raw talent and power. So I think what you're going to see in the next 5 to 10 years is you're going to see Judge and Sanchez hitting 3 and 4 in their lineup.
God willing.
I can see that, and I will be happy with that.
The two of them are definitely they definitely are players you want to build a team around. If you want the kind of sustained success that the Yankees had in the 90s, that is the path that you'll have to take.
But going back to the Yankees briefly, here's the thing. I guess I will accept if, this season we don't make it and, we just have another collapse. It'll be a tease. But the catch, I think in September when 40-man starts, guys like Gardner, guys like Headley should be sitting the bench a lot because I want to see all the young Yankees playing out there in the field.
It depends on how deep they are into a playoff run.
Right. That is in consideration. But if this is what I always say, if game 162 doesn't matter at that point, if either they have clinched the playoff spot already or if they are eliminated already, I want no Gardner, no Headley. Game 162, I just want a young Yankees lineup because, why? Money. Because all these young, because we talk about the Yankee ticket problems, obviously, and the peers, all these young guys like Judge, Sanchez, it's going to be bringing in the dough. People are going to be paying to see them. It's going to solve that ticket problem. You're going to start to see Yankee Stadium fill up more.
And you're already starting to see Judge and Sanchez jerseys a lot more than I thought we would. And
exactly. So
although I would not agree, because I heard Skip Bayless say this, and
oh God, you're gonna.
It should immediately be.
Can we not talk about that fucking a-hole, please?
But
Skip Bayless. I'm sorry, Skip Bayless.
Can you stay kind of? You are fake news, sir.
Thank you.
Skip Bayless is fake news.
It's a good point. But he said that the day after the home run derby, I heard him say that Aaron Judge is the LeBron James of baseball.
No.
Not there yet.
What?
Like
what?
Wait a minute. Hold up. First of all, fuck Skip Bayless. Second of all, Skip Bayless just says things for fact. Well, I shouldn't say for fact. To get opinions and to get rises out of people. So Anything that Skip Bayless says, you take with a grain of salt, and you stick your middle finger up and say "fuck you."
Yeah.
Sir.
He is. It's not even. You know what? No, he's not even fake news. He is a troll. He is an internet troll. Skip Bayless.
By the way, just a piece of news for the Yankees. It just came up.
Okay.
According to Brian Hoach, who was a Yankee writer for MLB.com, Brian Cashman says that CC Sabathia is healthy, but Sabathia said Girardi and Rothschild decided not to pitch him in Boston. It's just Joe Girardi over-resting people after injuries.
With CC, I think maybe it could help because he's not a spring chicken anymore.
Right. I mean, here's the thing: over-resting because of injury, but then again, you also have a bullpen that's tired as all hell. I feel like we need another reliever just to give the likes of Betances and Chapman a breather. Yeah,
but here's the thing: Adam Warren, who was a long man for them, who was actually pretty good for them, was injured. Right. That forced moves. Chapman was out for a long period of time in the first half, so that forced Betances into the closer role, which really wasn't his inning. That's really Chapman's inning, but Betances is really your close down guy to get to the closer. So
that is fair, but still, I feel like but they need to breathe. They can't always depend on Chapman, Betances, and Clippard.
Well, Girardi has an issue. So, and this has been the issue for the past couple seasons, even with Miller and Betances when they had Andrew Miller, that he will use them 2 days straight, then they're forced to have 2 days off or a day off, but he'll burn those guys out instead of using the rest of the guys in his bullpen.
Pretty much. I mean, that is the truth, and I think everyone from me to you two and all my friends, I guess that is one thing we're in agreement in. He is burning through the bullpen.
Like, literally.
At least
he'll go to Betances for 4 outs for the last out of the 7th and the whole 8th. The guy is freaking burned out.
Right. I mean, his head issue, I guess, is a whole other issue, and I don't know how to feel about that. But we can all be in agreement.
I don't suppose you heard what Bryce Harper was caught on mic saying during the All-Star game?
I know. I did hear that Bryce Harper. Okay, Bryce Harper told his first base coach. Now, Bryce Harper was mic'd up, but he was talking to his first base coach, like normal chit chat between guys. Right. And he was saying something like, Betances is easy to hit off of.
Well, all right.
What he said was his first base coach was referring to Betances' curveball. He said, the bottom dropped out, didn't it? He said, yeah, but he'll throw it all over the place, so just let him walk you.
Well, here's the issue.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is right. He did say that. And I think the thing is,
I think it's in his head.
As much as you can criticize Harper, he's right. He's right.
I wouldn't say he's hittable. That's a little too far fetched. I don't think that's fair.
He'll beat himself.
He's tired.
He wants to beat him.
But here's what I would say. So with the Dellin Betances issue, I think it's in his head. I think that he's got to control his fastball. If he can control his fastball, then he can use that incredible curveball to get people out. But right now, because he's not throwing strikes, people are spitting on that curveball.
But but we're all in at least agreement that Girardi at least should be criticized for this bullpen mismanagement.
That's a tough one. I would say it's partially him, but it's partially the injuries.
I'd have to go Nick on this one, Tom.
I think that basically because of the Chapman situation, forcing Betances to pitch 2 innings at times for the 8th and the 9th, and being in a pressure situation. Look, think about it. When we had Mariano Rivera, now we're going back years.
We're going back years.
So when Mo was the closer, and there were times when he was out, who was it? It was Tom Gordon or
Flash Gordon or Kyle Farmer.
Yeah, or Tyler Clippard, in fact.
Right. But look, those guys had no experience. Yeah. It was a whole different thing. Pitching the 9th is a whole different ball game.
It is. It's a completely different. It's a completely different headspace. You have to have that certain kind of intimidation factor, and Mo had it.
But that's my point. That
ice water in your veins.
Right. That's my point, though. Betances was never brought up to close. He was brought up to pitch the 8th inning to get to the closer.
Which is fair, but both of them are having their struggles.
No, I'm agreeing with you, but Chapman was injured for a long period of time. So I think for him, it's just knocking off the rust because he was out for almost 2 months.
I mean, yeah. I will agree that injuries are part of it, but I still got to give Girardi a little bit of criticism. I'm
not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, we're not saying don't render him blameless. He does shoulder the blame. I'm just saying
he refuses to use the other guys in his bullpen.
Right, and that is one of the problems. Like I said, okay, so we're all in agreement with that. He needs to use the bullpen. He needs to start using more guys than just Betances.
But you know what? At the same time, I don't blame him for being afraid of everyone else in the bullpen because usually those two guys are stoppers.
Right, but you can't always depend on them.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I understand why there's a little bit of nerves from Girardi going to the other guys.
But you got to take chances.
No, you're right.
No Chance Adams.
No, you're right. I hear you, but at the same time, I understand a little bit of the terror or the fear of going to those guys because they're not trusted names.
I mean, there's somebody in my Periscope, Jam86, who said you got to take risks, and I think the Yankees are at the point now where they've got to take risks.
First of all, the way I would answer that question is they've taken plenty of risks from the minor league system to a ton of pitchers they brought up.
You're right. They have taken risks this year, but they got to continue it.
How many more do you want them to take? They've taken like half the minor league system apart and brought it up to the majors.
I mean, at this point, I want to see the young Yankees at this point.
Yeah, but you said this before. There's a balance between competing and you want to see the young team. Which one is it? You need a balance.
I said that?
Before, you said something a little bit before.
I don't remember ever saying that, but I'm saying at this point, they're banged up. I don't know what the Yankees – they need to find a solution, basically. The guys agree with me. No, I didn't say that.
There is a balance. Now I'm hearing that Justin Verlander's out on the market. So now you're going to hear every Yankee fan say, go get Justin Verlander. And I'm like, no, don't get Justin Verlander.
I wouldn't say that far. I don't think Justin Verlander is not the Justin Verlander of old, so I wouldn't go that far. I said to you guys, especially to you, Nick Fodera, I want to see Chance Adams up here.
Yeah, that's what
you heard from the minor league coaches. They say he's ready.
I think that's more of a Girardi head issue.
Yeah. The time has now come. All right, you cannot deliberate anymore. I mean, now we need to see this kid. If you do not want to go after a pitcher, which Brian Cashman's proven that he does not, then bring Chance Adams up.
Well, no, I'm in full agreement with you. Bring Chance Adams up, see what he can do. I'm sure there's going to be nerves, but the guy will come up, probably pitch well. I don't know if you're going to keep him in the rotation because you already have. I mean, he might replace Pineda. That's
right. I was going to say, if Pineda's done for the year, like we are saying he is, then basically, there's your opportunity right there.
I don't know. The pitching issue is a big problem. So we'll have to see what happens in the second half.
Pretty much. It's going to be interesting second half, especially for the Yankees, and especially starting tonight as they take on the Boston Red Sox. You're listening to the Unspoken Podcast, part of the Undetermined Podcast Network, and a Cheap Seats production. Just to give an update on what's going on, we got McGregor and Mayweather making their ways to – it looks like they've set up a ring in London. They have actually set up a ring of like a mock ring. No, I'm not surprised. But they're going to have McGregor and Mayweather in there. So I have the sound on and everything, but it's like, I mean, do we really want to hear well, what do you? I'm a hardcore boxing MMA guy. I mean, I'm more a hardcore MMA guy than I am a boxing guy. But I want to let's hear from you two, the casuals, Nick and Nick, the casual. How entertained are you by this world tour that is going on?
I'll let you take it first.
I'll take it by saying I'm not entertained at all. This is a fight between two. Oh well, one is a bigger dick than the other.
Two sausage heads.
No, yes, exactly. Nobody in this fight is worth rooting for because Conor McGregor is a damn racist. Plus he's
well. I want to address that, but finish your point.
Plus he's kind of an idiot.
Okay, well, Nick Morgasen, do you want to address the racist point?
Yes. So I was listening to that yesterday. I heard what he said, and then he was talking to Guillermo from the Jimmy Kimmel Show, which was pretty funny, by the way. But at the same time, he made a comment about monkeys in a gym, and I understand that can be very racist. But I think at the same time, I don't think he meant it the way it came out. I think that, and I've heard this all day on sports talk radio and all the past couple days on TV, that I think McGregor is being a little bit of a hardhead trying to over-promote this fight by insulting Floyd instead of trying to have a Rock'em Sock'em press conference tour.
Pretty much. I mean, if you don't know Conor McGregor, then you're not exactly getting what he's doing. Conor McGregor is pretty much a hype man. Pretty much.
Yes.
I mean, he's a hype man fighter mix. He gets in everybody's head. That is kind of his strategy. His strategy
but that's Floyd's too.
Exactly. I was gonna say I think Floyd's done that a couple of times as well. It's all about getting into your head. Exactly. Taking the guy, as a commenter said, taking bullshit as a part of boxing hype. It's just bells and whistles. Thank you, Jam. And I would say sometimes it's part of MMA too. I mean, when here's the example of MMA. I mean, they were doing the summer kickoff for the fights like John Jones and Daniel Cormier. But then there was this one fight night event where it's like Kevin Chize and Lee. It's Chize versus Lee. And basically, they don't have the star power that, some of those other fighters, the kickoff had. But then Lee made the comment about the other guy's mother. And basically, the other guy took offense to it and nearly brawled. And
but McGregor did that also.
Right, but that's McGregor. McGregor always hypes up his fights like that. Yeah, but I'm saying the point is hyping all this hype, all this near brawl shit. That's boxing. That's MMA. That's all the hype to it.
Right.
It is basically the equivalent of a pissing contest with millions and millions of dollars on the line. Here's the world's most expensive.
You want to say that, Nick? Basically.
Here's the thing that I would say though. First of all, I'm pretty entertained by these press conferences, but at the same time, there are a lot of things I agree with that Nick said about the press conference. Now, I think Tom and I talked about this last night, how certain things that Floyd is doing is laughable because like pulling the dollar bills, $1 million in dollar bills out of the backpack or taking the $100 million check out of the backpack. And then you hear and then you got
McGregor's, responses, his lightning fast zingers. So Mayweather holds up the check, and then McGregor responds with, "That's for the tax man," or Mayweather's, making it rain, and then McGregor's little gripe of, "Oh, they're all $1 bills," or Nick F. Yeah, do your little accent, please.
It's $1. It's not spend it anywhere.
But basically, the point is, it's producing moments.
No, right? It is producing moments, and basically, like Nick said, I'm not too happy. I'm rooting for McGregor first of all, so because I can't stand Mayweather. I think he's an asshole. To be honest with you, if he disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't be upset. So, because of all the crap that he said.
For the viewer on Periscope who asked, I am actually talking with two Nicks. One is Nick Fodera and one is Nick Morgasen, and they are my co-hosts.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey.
But basically, I think the point is, it's all a hyping, and I'm actually looking, and I don't see Espinoza or Dana, what? Oh wait, I don't know, because here's the thing. I want to know: do you guys like it when they have guys like Espinosa when they're doing it the press conference boxing style, and they got guys like Espinosa and Dana White talking?
No, I don't want them there. I want my big fight, and that's it.
Right. I can't wait. I'm getting ready to, I want to hear this.
I don't know.
All right. So they're in the ring right now, and make sure, we don't have to listen to, guys. Oh, wait. Got a stare down. Hang on. Let me turn the camera on Periscope because we have a stare down. Look at that.
But you got to tell us what's going on because we can't see it.
Yeah, I know. I got to tell you guys what's going on, Nick and Nick. But we have a big stare down. McGregor and Mayweather, they are nose to nose. We got McGregor mouthing. He's mouthing something. He's
probably insulting his mom again.
But that wasn't McGregor. Was that McGregor who did that? I was making reference to.
That was McGregor.
Oh, really? I was gonna say because I was talking about I was making reference to the Cheese Lee fight from UFC Fight Night from last month. We got more mouthing off. We got some more mouthing off.
Are you surprised? These guys hate each other.
Yeah, this is. We also got an Ole chant. We got an Ole chant from the London crowd.
Because this is McGregor's world where they are.
Right. Well, not just McGregor. This is boxing world. London is one of the best. London is one of the best boxing sites.
You realize that London is right near Ireland, right?
Right.
Well, yeah.
So that it's going to be.
That's the thing. It's a mix. You have a place near London, near McGregor's home country. I mean, you got one near Ireland, near his home country, and then you got London, which is one of the biggest boxing sites that there is.
They're at Wembley,
right? But that's the thing. In Wembley, they hosted. I think recently that was where they hosted Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko, which was one of the best boxing fights I have ever seen in a long time. That was incredible. That was a war.
The projected number, and I heard this today on the radio, that there was going to be over 17,000 people at Wembley today for the press conference.
Yeah, it looks it, by the way. It was maybe more than 17,000. Yeah, it looks packed.
Wow.
Where's the actual fight going to be held?
It's going to be held at the T-Mobile Arena, I believe.
It's in Vegas, yeah.
And the amount of money that is going to be made on this fight.
That's the one part of this fight I don't exactly agree with is the pay-per-view price.
Wait a minute, though. Is it at the T-Mobile Arena or is it at the Max Center?
Now, no, I think it's a T-Mobile. I remember there was a T-Mobile Arena and there was the MGM Grand. And the MGM Grand, I think they were originally booked for the MGM Grand. Oh, wow. So our commenter, Jam86, says he heard that seat prices to the press conference was at like $3,000.
That's ridiculous.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
$3,000.
Wait a minute.
So
$3,000 just to sit at a press conference and see two guys bitch and moan?
But you gotta do some math here. $3,000 times at least 17,000.
51,000.
Do the math. Find the numbers, people.
51,000.
51. That's at least $51,000. Plus, remember that there were multiple tour stops. So you're talking New York, which I actually had a buddy at, by the way, yesterday. He said
he
it was
there.
Yeah, I had a buddy who was there yesterday. Actually, he had press credentials, so he actually got to see everything up close. So
he got a press credential.
Yeah, he works for a freaking site.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, but that's it. He got to see the moments like Mayweather making it rain live.
That's amazing.
Only the irony, only to a man like Mayweather would the irony of making it rain be lost on him.
Well, let's talk about the pay-per-view price. By the way, what do you guys feel about the pay-per-view price? Because that's probably the most controversial part of
Way too much.
Way too much.
I mean, here's the thing. The last time a boxing event cost $100 was Mayweather versus Pacquiao,
And that fight was shit.
that fight didn't live up, in my opinion.
And this fight's going to be shit also. It might go a round or two.
Although, here's the thing. I still don't. I think Mayweather's going to win, but you can't count Conor McGregor out until, the shit happens.
First of all, I'm a McGregor supporter. I want McGregor to win.
Yeah, I don't. Their personalities, being kind, not so great, but, I don't doubt the ability of either of them. But this is a completely different sport that Conor McGregor's,
Right. I think that's the reason why I'm picking. That's the reason I'm picking, Mayweather. Oh, we got an interesting comment from Jam86, who's being very active with us today. He says he doesn't want a knockout. He actually and you know what? I think all of us would probably not want a knockout. To be honest, I don't know if it's going to happen. Everyone's saying it's very rare that it could happen, especially because it's such a, boxing is such a different sport than MMA. But I would love a war. Like I say, some of my favorite boxing, like the boxing bouts that I like are wars, like Joshua Klitschko. Like I think the Kennedy Golovkin fight in September, that's going to be a war.
But it is not, under any circumstances. I mean, it is not. What is? But before I say it, what is the asking price for pay-per-view?
The asking price? Oh, you don't know, Nick F? You don't know?
I wasn't sure. I heard a couple different figures.
Okay, if you're gonna purchase standard definition, it's $89.99. If you're gonna purchase high definition, it's $99.99.
I heard about that. Yep.
Fuck me.
Well, here's the thing. Because it's $100, what do you think most people are going to do that night?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't know. I mean, that feels more. This feels more like a fight, and this feels more like.
By the way, that was sarcasm.
Yeah, they might just end up going out to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Thank you. That's the answer I was looking for.
They're going to go to a sports bar, a Chili's, or
right.
Any kind of bar.
Right.
Charlie and I are going to go to Applebee's and watch the fight.
That's the thing. They will go to a sports bar, or they will what's it called? They'll go to a sports bar, or it's one of those things where you get a bunch of friends over and everybody pops up, $10, $20.
Yeah, $10 a head. We'll all order a couple of pizzas and watch the fight.
But it's fucked up shit. Who's paying $100 for pay-per-view for a thing that might go one or two rounds?
But Nick M, at the same time, this is because you have to remember something. I talked about this on a blog in a recent post about going back and forth about this pay-per-view price, but you have to remember, this is also a once-in-a-lifetime kind of fight.
No, but that's not the point. I had this conversation yesterday with someone else. If the Yankees and the Red Sox were allowed to play in a World Series for an exclusive, and they said, well, if you pay $1,000 and we'll put the Yankees and the Red Sox in the World Series, are you going to do it?
Well, I feel like that's a different sport.
$1,000 for a 7-game series?
Yes. But it's exclusive, meaning that it can only happen once.
That is
but I think that's comparing two different sports. You're talking to teams fight. Oh, we got McGregor calling him or something.
What's going on over there?
Oh, I got the sound turned up on this one. Oh my God.
Check the face-up picture from yesterday and check it from the day before. Proper fucking hot ears that bitch was wearing.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
They left that on bleep?
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you this, Nick F, but they're bleeping this. They're bleeping this.
What happened?
They're not bleeping this.
Yeah, you just said fucking a couple times.
You know why they can't bleep it? I wonder why they're not bleeping it, because it's cable, that's why.
Well, it's Fox Sports too. Aren't they subject to the same kind of regulations?
Cable
but
doesn't.
I think aren't they also the stream from?
Cable doesn't have the same rules.
Right, but I think they're also getting it from Showtime or something because they had like the Showtime logo. I don't see it today. Well, see, box office. I think they might have Sky or Box. They might be taking, the stream from something else.
Sky's feed and
Yeah, but you have to remember something. Remember, ESPN, Fox, they're all cable networks.
Right.
They don't have the same rules.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But this fight from top to bottom is just going to be it's going to be a shit fight. It really is.
By the way,
Conor McGregor is out there looking like Conor McGregor. You can imagine what's going on. If you have seen the first 3 days of this tour, know what's going on at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Wait. He's going to Espinoza.
oh, no one cares about Espinoza.
I see what you're saying, Nick. You're saying that we are with all of this buildup, we are going to be inevitably disappointed.
Right. I mean,
but right. Here's the thing. I could see a disappointing ending, but at the same time, all this hype, I think it comes with the territory.
Wait a minute. So, Tom, what's going to be your reaction if this fight goes one round, or God forbid, gets knocked out in the first minute?
Who? If McGregor gets knocked out in the first minute?
Yes.
I'll be like, well, no surprise there.
And everyone has wasted their $100 that they spent.
Well, that's why I'm encouraging people to, either go out or, have friends around. This is the kind of fight where you don't want to be watching by yourself. You want to be in a community.
Yeah. Boxing, most major sporting events are a lot more fun when you're experiencing them with other people.
No, that's totally true.
I mean, if you ever watch, if you ever watch me on Twitter the day of a WWE pay-per-view, I'm with these guys called New Legacy Inc. And essentially we're making fun of everything, You get what I mean? We're making fun of shit and we're watching it together. Sports are a lot of fun. Now, WWE, of course, ain't necessarily sport. It's entertainment. But I'm saying, when you're watching something like boxing match or you're watching the World Series or Super Bowl, it's a lot of fun when you're more together with people.
Yeah,
right.
It is.
Totally. Every sporting event is better when you go with people.
Like, I remember my undergrad was the year when the Seahawks and Broncos made the Super Bowl, and that was the blowout of the year.
Oh, my God. Yeah. By the way, when we have time, I have some breaking news to share, but that's when we have some time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Jam, he is a Mayweather supporter, but he has said McGregor is a funnier shit talker. That is, you got to give McGregor credit there. He is a funny.
He is the king, the grand poobah of shit talking.
By the way, who gives a fuck about FS2, by the way?
The people who run FS1.
Let's tune our attention a little bit now to the thing.
Someone just commented on the Periscope at Hail the Music. It's all about the money.
Oh, yes, it is.
So, yeah, I agree. They're both making $100 million checks.
Let's get it straight. The bullshit is now over. 6 weeks, I'm gonna sleep this film.
Another comment from our Periscope here. 2 clowns fighting for money. It's a clown show. I've said that.
Yeah, he practically opened up the segment saying that.
Oh, hang on, let's get us back. So, yeah, and we actually have a quote from McGregor. He said, "The shit is over. 6 weeks." So 6 weeks. Is it 6 weeks? I think actually, yeah, 6 weeks. Wow, 6 weeks from today, we got a war coming.
That's crazy.
It's more than a month away, and they're hyping it up.
Yes.
Already?
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know if you guys.
I feel like it's normal.
But I don't know if you guys have a lull in the action.
Say again, Nick?
We can briefly take a lull.
Do you have a lull in the action? Because I have some breaking news to share from the NBA.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So.
Well, we all news that you have.
What'd you say?
So what's the breaking news you have?
Oh, okay. So we know how we were talking about Jonathan Simmons before, right?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, you got to repeat.
What?
We're having technical difficulties here, lady. Nick Morgasen, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay, so according to our undetermined breaking account, Jonathan Simmons has officially signed a 3-year deal with the Orlando Magic.
What?
Ah.
Hmm.
And according to our account also, all guaranteed money.
All
Shit.
guaranteed. What?
Yes.
That's rare to hear. I'm not, as I said, I'm not a big NBA guy, but that's very rare to hear all guaranteed money, is it not?
Yes, that is pretty rare, actually.
That's insane.
So that's courtesy of our UD breaking account, also from David Aldridge of TNT and Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN.
I'm still confused though. Like, why are they doing that?
It's probably because it's not a huge amount of money, so they probably just guaranteed it all because it's not a big amount.
Yeah.
I guess that is true. Let's get now.
They can guarantee you money.
Oh, what did we step on? I was too busy talking about. I was too busy talking to you guys. I think I missed what Mayweather had stepped on or something, or threw to the ground. Well,
Can they just have a brawl right there?
Yeah. Just start throwing punches. That's what we're all there for. Yeah, somebody do something.
Somebody just punch each other in the head. Just do it right there.
Or you know what?
I'm waiting for it. Uh-oh, wait a minute. They both have mics.
Ladies and gentlemen, The Clown Show.
Well, Mayweather ain't saying much.
Yeah, because he's a dick and he's a baby and he hugs people.
Oh, he's gonna do the hard work again.
Wow, McGregor sounds pissed.
Yeah,
He does.
He does. So he's doing the hard work stuff again. So let's take a break from that. He does. I can't wait. I'm just waiting for the moment that they're gonna brawl. Like, that's the thing at this point.
They're not going to allow it.
They're not going to allow it, but I at least want to see them get up close again. The next face-off, I want to see them, have to be separated by security and staff.
But the self-promotion is going to reach a fever pitch where I'm telling you, it may not happen, but I'm fully expecting somebody, Conor McGregor, to just drop trow and say, "Look at my penis!"
Oh God! Oh no!
If he could do that, he would do that.
Why am I not surprised?
Come on, tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
Exactly. But that's what this is. It's shameless. I was going to my self-promotion match, but then a box.
Oh my God.
That's the funny.
So I have to ask you guys as casuals. So Nick M. Morgasen, you said you're going to Applebee's with the undetermined Charlie, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Nick Fodera, what are your plans for this fight?
I have no idea. The date we may actually just end up going to a Chili's and catching it there.
You're gonna go hotwire a television
because there is no way in hell that I am paying for that.
You're gonna illegally download it or jailbreak it off a device.
Quote from Mayweather. We got an old leg chant going again.
Everyone say it. Mayweather sucks. Mayweather sucks.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
I heard that.
It's about to go downtown.
God.
Hope everyone in the Periscope audience is enjoying this right now.
I ain't got to wait no
Yeah.
more. Me and you got the most money. Keep pimping this bitch.
See, there's the bitch word again.
Oh my God.
21 years ago, me and you had a game plan.
What are they chanting?
We the smart ones.
Is he speaking English?
Yeah. He's talking about how pretty much they're gonna have him and Dana White are gonna have all the money in the world after this fight.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
I was talking about Floyd Mayweather, not Conor McGregor.
They're after me, Lucky Charms.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for if I have offended in any way any people of Irish descent or actual Irish people. But he does kind of sound like Lucky.
That's racist.
It is a little bit, but yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
Nah, don't worry, Nick.
So,
So we're reaching the hour and a half mark here, so I think we'll end it for our YouTube audience, but our Periscope listeners and viewers can get a little bit of a bonus.
but let's just quickly tally where we were. So where do we want to finish off here?
Pretty much. You know what? Do you guys have one final point? It could be about MLB. It could be about Mayweather, McGregor. For our YouTube audience, anything at all. That
Good, Nick.
you know.
If I had to sum it up, I would sum it up thusly: money talks, bullshit rides the bus.
All right, that was good. That was good.
That was good. Nick, anything from Mayweather, McGregor to baseball, Nick M. Your final word.
All right, so let's see how I put it at this point. The NBA free talk about the Knicks, and I'll go into a few other things to final off here. But
Okay.
the Knicks situation is a crap fest. They got to figure out who's doing what. So they got to figure out their GM situation, which they have. Are they going to trade Melo? That's up in the air right now. I think they should just do the deal and stop bullshitting with the media, because the media is just going to make them look like dicks if they don't figure this out. Major League Baseball, the Yankees got to figure it out. A bunch of teams got to figure it out before the trade deadline, because now this is the time of the year where major trades are made and you either have contenders or pretenders. So,
Depends what the Yankees want to be.
right. And then finally on the Mayweather-McGregor stuff, I think that McGregor needs to watch his mouth, because he might have been a little bit of racist there, but I get the point. I don't think he was trying to. I think it was because he knew he was on TV and was trying to hype it up.
Saying he was black from the belly button down, that was
weird.
That was way too far. That was racist.
Was the gyrations too far also?
Hey, what does he think he is, Elvis?
Well, apparently he made that comment that you just said, being black from the waist down, and then used gyrations to point to the women in the crowd.
Of course. So now he's a creeper.
Yes, he's a creeper. But
Yeah,
basically, I
But
think
you know
that's
what? At the end of the day, they're all winning because they're all making a shit ton of money.
well, yeah, they're both going to make $100 million checks.
Yeah.
So,
You know what? Joke's on us.
Pretty
that's
much.
true. But in the long run, as I finish up,
Onto the Yankees. I mean, at this point, I have a soundbite that sums up their situation when you're talking about the playoffs.
yes. Thank you, Mr. Herm Edwards.
Thank you.
I hope they can win a series.
Well,
And you mean Jim Mora. Herm Edwards is you play to win the game. So Nick Morgasen, you are wrong.
for
wrong,
what?
Wrong. Because you said Herm Edwards when it was Jim Mora.
Oh, Jim Mora. Oh, my God.
You're right. Oh.
Once again, you are wrong.
Wait a minute. I thought that was Herm Edwards. No.
No, that's
Herm Edwards is in the game to win the game. Oh.
wrong again. Nick, you're out.
What?
That's 3.
Isn't he you play to win the game?
What is this? The Price is Right? Leave him alone.
I'm going to come over there.
Don't make me come over there and take your soundboard away from you.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to create my own soundboard. I'm going to have obnoxious sound effects on it next time.
Come on.
Yeah, just a
first week
a bunch of noises.
But I think an hour and a half is definitely long enough, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our Periscope viewers can have a little bit of a sneak preview. For our Periscope audience, we'll go up to the big stare down, and we'll end it there. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. We've reached our longest episode yet. So for our YouTube viewers, I'm Tom Albano along with Nick Fodera and Nick Morgasen. Woo! This has been the Unspoken Podcast, Cheap Seat Sports Production, part of the Undetermined Podcast Network. So with that, our YouTube listeners, thank you so much. Stay tuned for next week's episode number 28. Take care, everybody on YouTube.
Take care, YouTube.
Good night.